ईरानी सुप्रीम लीडर मुश्तबा खामनेई खिताब कर रहे हैं, आपको बराह रास्त ले चलते हैं.
و یاری شما مردم ممکن است. در ادامه لازم است نکته ای را که ربط مستقیمی به اصل کلام بنده دارد مورد تأکید قرار دهم. آن نکته این است که از جمله هنرهای رهبر شهید و سلف کبیر ایشان وارد کردن مردم در همه عرصه ها و بصیرت و آگاهی دادن مستمر به ایشان و در مقام عمل تکیه بر نیروی آنان بود. ایشان اینطور معنای حقیقی جمهور و جمهوریت را فعلیت بخشیدند و از عمق جان هم به آن معتقد بودند. اثر واضح این مطلب در این چند روزی که کشور بدون رهبر و بدون فرمانده کل قوا بود دیده شد. بصیرت و هوشمندی ملت بزرگ ایران در واقعه اخیر و پایمردی و شجاعت و حضورش دوست را به تحسین و دشمن را به حیرت واداشت. این شما مردم بودید که کشور را رهبری و اقتدار آن را ضمانت کردید. آیه ای که در صدر این نوشتار آوردم به این معنی است که هیچ آیتی از آیات الهی نیست که یا مهلتش تمام شود یا به فراموشی سپرده شود مگر این که از ناحیه حضرت حق جل و علا مثل یا برتر از آن به جایش داده شود. مناسبت استفاده از این آیه شریفه این نیست که این بنده در حد رهبر شهید باشم، چه رسد به این که بخواهم برتر از ایشان فرض شوم، بلکه جهت ذکر آیه مبارکه توجه دادن به نقش
a supreme leader. Now I'm here and the Iranian people have shown the world that they are great people and we all have the good successor, and Allah Almighty is helping us to do that job. It's quite important to understand profoundly and perfectly the verses of the Holy Quran. We want to resort to the Holy Quran to make sure that the role of the leaders, the role of the great leaders is quite important, and it is a blessing to have these leaders, and it is a blessing to learn a lot from their characters and their characteristics. It's quite important to always be together, and the leader cannot work without you. The leader cannot work without the support of the people. And of course, we need all to depend and to rely on Allah Almighty and to follow the path and the roots of the great characters and the great personalities that are always in Iran. We need to defeat our enemy. Our strength will help us all to defeat our enemy. And so many categories of our society understand this, and away from the points of differences, we need to overcome all the points of difference. And we need to make use of the great presence of the Iranian people and leaders with their different layers during this war. The social and the cultural and the security position was good in our country. Our unity is always there, and we must continue that path. The leaders are supposed to point out to these roles to be played by the people and by different categories of the people and the different agencies and organizations in the country. There must be an attention or a special attention to these efforts that will defeat the enemy. And today is quite important because the Iranian people, particularly during difficult times like these days, are doing well. And I need the people of Iran to receive and get all the different types of support and services by the different agencies in the country. This is quite important. And these services must be offered to the people in order to continue the path of resistance and the path that will lead us to defeat the enemy. Regarding the fighters, I'd like to thank the brave fighters who are doing a great job at a time where our country is under pressure and under attacks. Our great forces have severely attacked the enemies and have prevented the enemies from dominating our country or from dividing our country. The Iranian people want you to continue your defense of the country, and to do this in order for the enemies to regret what have they done and what they have done. And when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz and other fronts, the enemies have no experience that is enough to affect us. We will continue our efforts and we will keep these places as they are, and we will enforce the good people in the internal resistance, and we know that they are doing good job. Also, it's quite important that the revolution, the Islamic revolution, has its own values, and the resistance people are quite committed to these principles that can end the Zionists. The resistance in Yemen will do also their job, and they want, and everyone wants to help. People also in Iraq wants to help us and to help the Islamic revolution. I'd like also to talk about the damage that has happened, about those who lost their beloved ones, or those who got wounded and end up suffering any damage, those who lost their jobs or even left their areas. I want to tell them that according to the experiences that I had with the martyrs, the leaders, including my father, my wife and my sister, they are very loyal. They helped everyone, and the end was great for her. All those martyrs are in a better place, and they continue the path of the previous martyrs. We need to be aware of the promise given to us by Allah Almighty for sacrificing our lives for our countries. We need to be patient, and we need to believe in the promises of Allah Almighty. We will never retreat. We will revenge the blood of our martyrs. The revenge will be always there, not only for the late Supreme Leader, but also for the blood of every single Iranian citizen who lost his life or her life because of this war. We have concrete indications that we will revenge for the blood of all our martyrs. The Iranian blood is very precious, particularly the blood of children and women. That's why the crimes of the enemies in Minab school and some other places will be severe for the enemies, and they will pay the price. The wounded people must receive free and best treatment. They must enjoy certain privileges. The current situation must be dealt with through offering some financial compensations for those who have suffered the damage. I would like also to say that this is our duty. This is our duty to help the people. And under any circumstances, under any situation, the enemies will pay the price. They will pay the price. They will pay the price. We will take the revenge, and we will destroy their facilities that equals the compensation that we need. We have good relations with 15 neighboring countries, and we are always willing to develop these relationships with our neighboring countries. But the enemy has certain military bases in some of these countries, and have used these bases to attack us. We have warned before that without attacking these bases, the enemy will continue their aggression. We are forced to continue the interests and the bases of the enemies, but we still have good relationships and friendship with the neighboring countries. Those who killed our children will pay the price. My advice is to stop these bases from operating. We need to do that because the enemies are saying lies and are telling lies. Those who cooperate with these directions and directives must be fully aware. The regime in the Islamic Republic of Iran is not a colonial regime. We need to be unified. We need to have good relations with the neighboring countries, and we are ready to improve the relations with the neighboring countries. I am talking to the late Supreme Commander, and I want to tell him your death has created deep sadness in our hearts. You were killed while reading the Quran on the 10th of Ramadan. You have been patient for long, and you have never expressed any impatience, and you stayed for a long time facing everything with bravery, and it will take us some time to discover the good characteristics of your personality. We hope you will be in paradise with the prophets, and for the sake of the Iranian people and for the sake of the resistance acts people, we need to make sure that we will be fine. And we pledged to Allah Almighty and to the late Supreme Leader that we will follow the path of the right. We will do our best. We will continue your path. And I will ask all the leaders with different degrees and the political layers and the entire people of Iran to do their best and to show their unity. I'd like to thank everyone who supported me. I'd like to thank the Leadership Council, and I'd like to thank everyone, and I ask Allah Almighty to bestow His mercy on us and on all the Muslims everywhere and on all the weak peoples everywhere. And we ask Allah Almighty in Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, the blessed month of Ramadan, to help us to live in dignity and to support the Muslims everywhere, and peace be upon you all.
That was the first statement from Iran's new.
मुश्तबा खामनेई खिताब कर रहे थे. उन्होंने कहा कि हर ईरानी के शोहदा का बदला लेंगे.